Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Love. I hope everyone is having a great week. In today's video, I will be talking about something really very important and which is necessary for every international student who's coming or who's looking to come to Canada, any person who has a work permit, anyone who's coming as a permanent resident, or even for Canadian citizens. So in today's video, I will be talking about the SIN number, which is your social insurance number. And basically a few days ago, I posted a video about my first day in Canada, and if you haven't checked out that video, go ahead and check out that video, as it will be really important, and it covered a list of things that you need to do if you're coming as a newcomer to Canada, or if you're returning to Canada as a student, worker, or as a PR. And it shows the entire list of things that you need to do when you arrive to Canada. So in this video, I will be covering one of the main topics, which is the SIN number, and then I would be continuing the series and making other videos about accommodations, about bus pass, Presto card, about the different mobile plans, and so many other things about the bank account, how to activate a bank account and how to start a bank account, and so many other topics. So this is the first video of that series, actually the second one, and it will be about SIN number. And if you haven't subscribed, I would recommend you guys to subscribe, be a part of my channel and my journey. It would really help me and support me, and I would really appreciate. So let's begin this video. I feel that these information are something which is really important for anyone who's coming new to Canada, because when I came new here, I didn't had any information about all of this, and I had to Google myself and find all of this information, and it took me like so many days to find all the correct information. So that's why I'm trying to make all these videos after all of my experience, so anyone who's traveling now as a student or anyone, they can have a smooth journey, and I can find all the information all in these videos. So let's talk about the SIN number now. So what is SIN number basically, and why do you need it? So basically the SIN number is also called the social insurance number. And this social insurance number is something which is really important for you, that has something to do with related to money. So for example, why do you need the social insurance number? Reason number one, if you go to a bank and you get your bank account open, the first thing that they will ask you is for your SIN number. So that the first thing is that you need your SIN number to open up your bank account. Secondly, if you want to work part-time as a student, as an international student, for 20 hours a week, or if you want to work under your work permit at 40 hours a week or as a permanent resident, the first thing that your employers will ask you is for your SIN number. The third thing that is very important for you to have the SIN number is to apply for government benefits. The best example, which is the most recent one, is the CERB money, which was the Canada Emergency Response Benefit. So many international students and workers who lost their job due to pandemic applied for the CERB, and the first thing that they needed for to apply the CERB was their SIN number, and many of them received like $500 weekly for that. One more reason that you need your SIN number is, which is also a really important reason, is to file your taxes. So if you make an account on the CRA to file your taxes every year on your tuition fee or on the money that you earn in part-time or full-time job, you need to have your SIN number to open up your account. So hence, SIN number is something which is really important for anyone who is in Canada on a legal status as a student, worker, permanent resident, and as a citizen. Now, before I continue and tell you guys about how to apply for the SIN number and what exact documents you need, what are the different ways, something which I would really like to mention in this video, which is really important, and I would like everyone to be aware about it, is that keep your SIN number, your social insurance number, confidential and private. I would repeat it like 4 or 5 times in this video because it is something which is really important. Guys, please keep your SIN number private and confidential, and don't share it with anyone at all. The consequences, if you share it, will be most likely your bank account will get hacked, they would take out all your money, and you would be left with no money and with no option, and no one could help you after that. Because if you share your SIN number with anyone that you don't know, it will be a huge problem and you could face a lot of problems. So guys, keep your SIN number private, keep it confidential, don't share it with anyone, not even with your friends, relatives, or anyone in Canada. You cannot trust anyone. The only few people or someone who you can share your SIN number is number one is your employer. So for example, if you apply for a part-time or a full-time job, the first thing they will ask you is for your SIN number. So yes, you would need to give them your SIN number, as you would be allowed to work a part-time 20-hour weekly job in study permit, or a 40-hour job weekly in a work permit under that SIN number, which will be added to your SIN number. So you need to give them your SIN number. That is safe, that is fine. Secondly, you can give your SIN number when you are making a CRA account to file your taxes. You can use that SIN number to make an account and file your taxes. But when I say about CRA, you can only do it when you are making an account online. But let's say if someone gives you a call from a random number in Canada and tells you that they're calling from CRA and they need your SIN number for more information, guys, don't give them your SIN number at all. Don't even talk to them for too long, because 99.99% it will be a scammer who will be calling you. CRA will never call you and ask you for your SIN number on the phone. No government official can have the rights to ask you for your SIN number on the phone. So don't ever give your SIN number to anyone on the phone. Even if, I know as a new student, we are stressed, we are nervous about the new changes, about the new country, and there are scammers who actually take advantage of this, and they will call you and tell you, for example, they will call you and tell you so you filed taxes the wrong way, you owe us money, or we owe you money back, so we need your SIN number so we can send that money back to you. You will be deported because you filed the SIN number, you filed the taxes in the wrong way, and they will try and scare you that way. Or they will tell you that we owe you some money and we need your SIN number for more information because we have your study permit registered to us, and if you don't give us your SIN number, we could take charges and you could be under a crime. Guys, even if anyone tells you that, still don't get scared. Don't ever give your SIN number to anyone on the phone or anyone like that. Never share it with anyone. Keep it confidential. I'm repeating myself because it is actually something important, and I've seen my close friends losing their money because of all of these small accidents. When someone tells you on the phone like that, either hang up or don't talk with them too long. Just hang up. If anyone has some genuine issues in the CRA, they will automatically contact you via email or will come visit you, but that is rare. No one will ever ask you for your SIN number on the phone. Now let's go ahead and begin on how you can apply for the SIN number and what documents you need, and so you can get your SIN number in one attempt. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what are the different ways through which you can apply for your SIN number as a student, worker, immigrant, or as a PR, or even as a citizen. So currently in 2021, there have been a lot of changes due to COVID-19, coronavirus, and everything. So we will be covering all of those changes, and I will be giving you the most updated information. So there are currently 3 different ways to apply for your SIN number. Number 1 is to apply online, which is I think the most convenient way right now. And personally, I applied for my SIN number online too, and I received my SIN number. Actually, I have it here with me just to show it to you guys. So this is my SIN number, which I received in 9 business days, and I applied for it online. So I would be showing it to you how I applied for online and what type of documents I used as an example, so that you guys can get your SIN number in one attempt. Because if you apply the documents in a wrong way, or if you use some wrong documents, you can even get it rejected, and then reapplying for it is also a big hassle. So guys, make sure to stick to the end, as so you can actually know what is the right way to apply, what are the right documents, so you don't make any mistake and you get it approved in one attempt. So the first way, like I mentioned, is to apply online. How to do that, everything we'll cover it in this video, don't worry. The second way is to apply it in person. So you can actually get an appointment by Service Canada. You can Google a Service Canada location near you. You can get an in-person appointment, go there with your documents and apply for it, and you can get the SIN number on the same day. By applying online, you get it in 10 to 20 business days. By applying in person, you get it on the same day. The third method is a little complicated, but people use it. So the third way is to apply it by mail. So you need to courier your documents basically to an address, which we will discuss what documents and where to courier it. So that's the third way, is to apply by mail, and the same thing, you get your SIN number in 10 to 20 business days if you apply by mail. So let's go ahead now on the website and see what documents we need to apply for your SIN number in all the 3 ways, and I will be discussing about all these documents in detail. So guys, make sure you listen to all of it, and let's go and look at the documents. Okay, so as you can see on the side, I will be talking about the only case in which you apply for your own SIN number. There are different cases too, in which when a parent applies for the minor, or when a parent applies or a legal guardian applies for a newborn, which is a newborn registration process, which is again a different process, which I would not be covering in this video. I will only be covering the case in which you apply for your own SIN number, and I would be going in details. So let's see the documents that you need. So basically, you need 3 major documents to apply for your SIN number. The number 1 is your primary document. Number 2 is your secondary document. Number 3 is your proof of address. There's also an optional document, which is your supporting document. You only need that document in that case in which in only those cases in which your name that you currently use is different than the name that is mentioned on your passport, which is rare. But if your name is different currently than that on your passport, you need to add a secondary a supporting document as well to prove the change of name. Now let's go ahead in details on what are these three different documents and what do they mean. So firstly, to begin with, the primary document, as you can see on the website too, the primary document is something to tell you in a short and in an easier language. It is a document that proves your status and your identity in Canada. To clarify more, for international students, the best would be to use their study permit. For work permit holders, you need to use your work permit. For permanent residents, you need to use your PR card or your COPR. And for Canadian citizens, you could either use your Canadian identity or your birth certificate, which would be your primary document. And to use that, you can take a photograph of the front and back side of your primary document and make it into a PDF if you apply for it online. That is your primary document. The secondary document, again to tell you in a simpler language, will be your identity, which gives information about your name, date of birth, and your place of birth, I think. And for that, the best document, again for immigrants, would be international students, workers, or PR, would be to use your passport as your ID. So you can basically, what I did and what you can do is click a photograph of your front side of your passport and the back side of your passport and make it into a PDF and apply it online. Use that as your secondary document. The other documents that you can use as secondary documents could be the photograph of your driver's license or any other Canadian identity card that you have. But mostly the best document, I think, and the easiest would be to use your passport to be on the safer side. Now, talking about the third document, which is also the main important document, and I think it is the document which confuses many people, is your proof of address, the proof of Canadian address where you would be staying as a student, as a worker, as a permanent resident, or as a citizen in Canada. And you would actually need a proof to show as a document to get your SIN number. For example, if you're a new international student who is a newcomer, has no idea where you're going to stay in Canada, so before you apply for your SIN number, you would need to finalize a place for yourself, an accommodation. I would be making a video about accommodation soon, and you need to have that proof of accommodation with you to apply for the SIN number. Now, what are the different documents that you could use? Number one could be like your lease or a rental agreement which you sign with the landlord. If you're staying in a private place, you could even get your landlord to make a letter for you, like a lease letter, proving that yes, you are staying at that place with his signatures and that it is a lease for you and him or her in either a month-to-month agreement or an annual lease. That could be one of the documents that you could use, a letter from landlord, a rental or a lease agreement. You could even use your water bill, your electricity bill in Canada if you have been staying here for a long time, and that because that bill also has your address, so you could use that as a proof of address, or any utility account bill like a lease or like a receipt for that. You could even use your bank letter, or if you already have an account in the bank, you could use a credit card statement or a debit card statement which also has your address as a proof of address to apply for your SIN number. Now, in my case, I particularly prefer to use the residential lease or the agreement that I recently signed at a new place where I moved in. I didn't use any other document because I was new to this place too. So I used the residential lease. It was a proper lease between me and the landlord, which I used as a PDF to apply online. So this is the third document that you need to use, and one of the most confusing documents. So guys, make sure you have all these documents prepared in advance before you apply for the SIN number. Now let's go ahead and move on the different ways to apply for the SIN number, how you can apply for it, what are the different information that you need to fill, and what are the major points where people make mistakes. Let's go ahead and cover that now. Okay, let's quickly talk about if you're applying online for yourself. Let's go ahead and talk about each and every method. So firstly, we'll talk about applying online. So like I mentioned, if you're applying online, you must provide the following documents: primary document, secondary document, proof of address, and supporting document. One thing that I didn't mention in the proof of address is that you can even request your college or your university to provide you a letter. So basically, you can tell your university or college that you would be staying in this particular address, and they could actually prepare a letter for you on their school's name that yes, the student will actually be staying at this address, and they could give you that particular letter which you can use as a proof of address without any issue. So that's the first method to apply online. So if you click on it, basically if you're applying online, you click on the link. I will leave the links for all these websites down in the description for all of you, and let's see. So if you click on it, you will see a form about SIN number. Let's say you click on the type. So let's say if it's your first time applying for the SIN number and you never had a SIN number before, you select on first SIN number. But if you're applying for an extension of your expiry date of your SIN number, if you already had one in the past, or if you're changing your status from a study permit to work permit, you need to select the other options. So for now, let's take an example of first SIN number. Then you need to fill out your basic information like your first name, last name, your family name, your parents' father's name, your mother's name, your telephone number, date of birth, your language. So you probably will select English, your gender, and is the applicant currently residing in Canada? You need to select yes if you're in Canada. If you're a twin or triplet, you need to select the following checkbox. Your status in Canada, if you're a student, you will need to select, or a worker, you will need to select the temporary resident. But if you're a permanent resident, you need to select the PR, or if you're a citizen, you need to select the citizen. And now in this one, this is actually a little bit confusing, so basically where people make mistakes. So it asks for your birthplace and not your address. So basically you need to enter your home address where you were born. So for example, in my case, I was born in New Delhi, India. So I'm just going to write New Delhi, India, and then for state, Delhi. Just an example, you need to enter your own country and city wherever you were born. And then if you ever had a SIN number in the past, you need to select yes. If you didn't, you just need to select no. And then if you had a SIN number, then you need to write the 9 digits. If no, then you can leave it blank. Then you need to write your mailing address. So in this address, you would actually be writing the address where you would want to receive your SIN number in the mail or courier. And this address should match with the address in the document that you provided as your proof of address, as you would be receiving the SIN number in that particular address. If you would be the one who would be receiving it, you need to leave this section blank. But if someone else will be receiving on your behalf, you need to fill it out with that person's name. And then you need to fill out the address where you would be staying in Canada, your apartment numbers of street name, city, town or village, your country, Canada, most likely, your province or territory, your postal and zip code. After that, you need to click on I accept with the privacy statement, and you need to click on next. After clicking on next, what happens is, I took a screenshot actually. So after that, you will be taken to this particular page, and it says that it asks you to upload documents. So as you can see, I have also taken my example over here. So it shows I actually prepared 3 separate files. So guys, prepared 3 separate files for all the different documents. Don't put them in a single PDF. So I basically took photos on my camera for my passport, for my study permit, and for the lease. So for the passport, I took the first and last page, turned it into a PDF, uploaded it. So basically you need to click on add files, select it from the desktop and upload it. Same for the lease or your residential proof or any proof that you use as a proof of address, and the same for your study permit or your work permit. You need to make sure that they are uploaded successfully. Then you need to click on the acknowledgement saying, are you applying for yourself? Yes. You need to print out your name. And then if you scroll down, basically it will tell you to acknowledge the privacy statement again. And after that, you need to click on submit. After clicking on submit, you don't need to do anything else. You just need to wait for your SIN number to come, and your SIN number will most likely come in 10 to 20 business days. I personally received mine in an envelope in 9 business days. Now moving on to the second step on how to apply it by mail. Okay, moving on to apply your SIN number by mail. Firstly, I wouldn't recommend you to use this option unless this is the only option available to you. Why? Because if you apply your SIN number by mail, you would actually need to print out all the documents and applications, and you would need to courier them, courier through Service Canada at this particular address if you apply by mail, and you need to send your original documents and not photocopies. So there is a risk that it might get lost, and they have already mentioned that Service Canada will not be responsible for the documents lost in the mail. So basically, how to apply for it by mail, you need to take a printout of all the documents that I mentioned to apply your SIN number. Prepare a parcel. An extra thing that you need to do by applying by mail is to complete and sign a SIN application form. So what is the SIN application form? Basically, if you click on this link, you would be able to download the form, and this is how your form will look like. So this is application for a SIN number, and for by applying when you apply it by mail. So you will see this form. You will need to fill out all the basic information which you already filled out when you applied online, and you need to take a printout of this particular form as well. And you will after applying filling this form, you need to put that in the parcel and courier it at this particular address, and then you can expect to receive your SIN number again through a mail in 10 to 20 business days. Now the third option is to apply it in person, which is also a convenient option, as the The pro of this option is to that you will be receiving your SIN number on the same day and you don't have to wait any other day. But the con is that it is really hard to get an appointment nowadays, especially after all the COVID-19 restrictions and quarantine restrictions. So what happens in this case is you need to apply for an appointment first. The first thing is you need to find a Service Canada location near your house or wherever you are. You need to find the location, then you need to fill out an online service request form. So basically, as you can see the link, so if I click on this link, it will direct me to a form, and you need to fill out this form with your basic information to get an appointment, like language of service English, first name, last name, location, telephone number, and if you need any special accessibility, like if you have hearing loss or wheelchair. And then important thing in this is you need to scroll down and you only need to select one option, which is this. Please select this box to request an appointment by Service Canada, and this is the only option you need to collect. Then the other important thing, if you apply for an appointment through this form, you need to fill out this box for additional information, in which you need to write basic information like you came to Canada as a new temporary resident, as an international student, and you would be studying at such and such college, and you request them to give you an appointment to apply for a SIN number in person. After doing that, you just need to click on submit, and you would be receiving an application number. And in 1 to 2 business days after submitting this form, you would be receiving a call on the number that you provided in this form uh, from an officer of Service Canada, who will be confirming your appointment for Service Canada, and you would need to be present on that time on that location for your appointment. It is really hard to get another appointment, so make sure if you book this, if you use in-person appointments, you are actually available for that particular day. And simply you just go there, you carry all the documents that I've mentioned, same documents literally. You carry them with you, show them the documents, and you can get your SIN number right there and then on that same day. Okay, guys, so that was it, and that was all the information that you need to know about applying for a SIN number. What is SIN number? What is its importance? How is it important to keep? How and why you should keep it private and confidential, and how to apply it? I discussed all the methods. I hopefully it clarifies all your doubts and it clarifies all your questions. Guys, if you still have any more questions, do drop them down in the comments. Feel free to drop any comment, any question that you have regarding SIN number or anything in general. I will get back to all of you. Do subscribe, guys. Do leave a like if you find this video useful, and if it was any useful to you or provided information that you needed. Do leave a like, it helps for the YouTube algorithm. Do subscribe, be a part of my journey, and once you apply for your SIN number, you can actually expect a similar envelope coming from Service Canada in a few business days, and you would be able to get your SIN number in mail. Till then, as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully in the next video I will be talking about either accommodation or different mobile plans, so do subscribe. As always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.